Hello students, the second poem for discussion is a wonderful poem by great modernist W.B. Yeats, and the title of the poem is Sailing to Byzantium. Now the sailing to Byzantium is now today's Istanbul. Okay, Byzantium was an imaginary world where the soul and intellect could thrive together. So let's see what does the speaker of W.B. Yeats says. The speaker actually introduces readers to the world that has no room in it for the elderly. That means no elderly people live there. The only young, soulful, and playful, active, who are intelligent, only these people live in this world. It's a world in which young lovers embrace under trees full of singing birds. Okay, who seem unaware of their own mortality. The waters swarm with fish, and every living thing, whether human, fish, or bird, is born and then dies. Everything in that country is so caught up in the moment that it can pay no attention to the things that might outlive the flesh. Now, this is the difference between death and mortality. Okay, these are the themes of death and mortality. An old man, the poem begins like, an old man in this world is nothing but a skinny, ratty old scarecrow, unless he can keep his soul alive, vital and singing within his failing, worn out body. That means it is not the body that should be judged by its age. Even if the body grows aged, your soul, your overall countenance, that should be very, very alive. The soul should be alive. No one can teach the soul to do this. The only person who wants to keep their soul alive has to figure it out through their own study. For reason, the speaker has taken a voyage across the ocean to the ancient city of Byzantium. Byzantium is the olden name. Today's name is Istanbul. The speaker addresses Byzantium, long dead wise men and saints who are now caught up in the glorious fire of God, who now are in the service of God after their death, and which is like the beautiful golden tiling that decorates the Byzantine churches. Okay, that means whatever carvings are made on Byzantine churches, they display the wonderful golden era where the saints and where the great people, the legends, and the wise men are in glorious fire of God. If you are one with God, you are in fire means you are one with God. Okay, and that picture is described on the walls of Byzantine churches. He asks them to emerge from this fire, whirling in spirals like the bobbin of a spinning wheel, and to teach his soul to sing. Sing means to be happy, to be alive even after death. And he wants that these people who are carved on the church's wall, they should come alive. And they should teach W.B. Yeats how to sing the song of life. He wants them to burn up his mortal fleshy heart, which is tethered to his failing body and can't fathom or accept its own mortality. And to take him up into their everlasting world of art. You know, if you become a world of art, that means you are reduced to a picture, you are reduced to a frame, you are reduced to a work of art. That means you are no more alive in your flesh and body. So W.B. Yeats wants to attain salvation, mukti, moksha from his bonds of life and death. He says that I want to renounce everything. I want to renounce my body. I want to leave my body. But I want to submit my soul to these great, wise, and intelligent saints. And just like them, I want that in their fire, they should burn my flesh. They should burn my heart. And they should take my soul with them to attain the everlasting world of art. Okay, so that he should also be converted into a sculpture, or he should also be carved by any sculptor on the walls of the churches, because he is too much now fed up with this earthly existence. This is the strange theme of death and immortality and mortality as well. Okay, mortality means when you have taken birth, you are bound to die. That is called as mortal being. So when he is left his body behind, the speaker says he wouldn't take up a mortal physical form again. W.B. Yeats certainly do not want to take a birth of human being or mortal being again. Mortal means nashwar. Jala amaratva nahi, that is called as nashwar. Instead, he will be a beautiful piece of golden art. He thinks that he should be a piece of golden art. Okay, so that the art is permanent. So that he is permanent. Something like the metal workers in ancient Greece might have made to hang in emperor's bedroom. He should decorate, he should live like an art. He loves the art so much so that he doesn't want to take birth of human being again. He wants himself to be transformed into golden artwork, and that artwork which is hung on wall in an emperor's bedroom. Or he will be a golden bird placed in a golden tree, where he, like the sages, can teach people his eternal and otherworldly wisdom. Or he also thinks that he should get converted into a golden bird. So his transcendent understanding of past, present, and future. Okay, so this is how the Byzantium is like. All the 4 stanzas are a sort of theme, and that theme is based on existence, transcendentalism, and mortality. Okay, now when I say transcendentalism, it is transformation. It is a rigorous transformation when you attain life, and after that you attain death. So that is called as transcendentalism, to transcend beyond the physical. That is called as transcendentalism. So he is an explorer of transcendentalism, W.B. Yeats, and he is also known for his modernist viewpoint of his poetry. For that he creates Byzantium town, where Byzantium is in today's world is known as Istanbul. Okay, and that is all the way his imagination. Sailing to Byzantium. Now please understand, the title of the poem is Sailing to Byzantium because he seeks a voyage through ocean to reach the other side of the continent. Okay, so he goes to Istanbul through ocean, and that's why he says that I am sailing to Byzantium, taking a voyage. Voyage is a journey taken by sea, through waters or through ocean. Okay students, so I hope you might have understood the overall analysis of Sailing to Byzantium by W.B. Yeats. We should stop here and we should continue with the next video. Thank you.